In 2008, I placed a $4,000 option bet and made roughly $400,000 in a little over a month. No, this is not hype, and yes, Uncle Sam took his cut. I paid taxes on every penny. But this is not about the money. It's about what this trade did to my head. September 2008, banks were collapsing, fear was everywhere, and the S&P 500 was sliding off a cliff. This is what I was watching in late August and early September 2008. The market looked shaky at best. Stocks were bouncing up and down, but the trend was down since the month of May. And the overall mood of the market seemed to be tense, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Look at this chart. The blue line is the S&P 500, which is the main broad index that most people follow. And the orange line is VIX. Sometimes some people call it the fear factor. But what it really can measure is how expensive or cheap options are. When people are scared and there's fear in the market, investors rush to buy protection and the price of options skyrocket. And that's what sends the VIX through the roof. Now look at the shaded area on the chart. It's between September 4th and October 10th. Around September 4th, I went and bought way out of the money options that were only a couple of months to expiration. So they were cheap. They were around maybe 80-90 cents. And look at what happened to S&P 500 after September 4th. As S&P 500 started dropping, suddenly the fear gauge just took off. The VIX, or volatility or fear gauge, started rising, which means not only the price of options are going to rise because of the drop, but they're also going to rise sharply because of VIX going up. And VIX started skyrocketing as S&P 500 started dropping sharply. And around October 10th is when I got out with a dizzying gain of around 100x on my original trade. That rush really nearly broke my brain. If one perfect window could change my life, what else is hiding in the market's calendar? I'm an AI and data guy, so I did what any slightly unhinged programmer would do. I started writing code to hunt for patterns in the market. Those late-night experiments quickly turned into a real obsession, digging through decades of price history, searching for anything that might repeat. Over time, those scripts became the platform I now call TradeWave. And somewhere along the way, I started to see it. There were certain patterns that showed up year after year, almost like a hidden market calendar. Let me show you what a real market pattern looks like. This chart tracks the S&P 500 during a specific 295-day window starting in late September of every midterm election year and ending the following July. Almost every time this window comes around, the market goes up. In fact, since 1930, this pattern has worked every single time. That's what I mean by a repeatable pattern. Same dates, same positive results over and over. The headlines changed, but these windows just keep showing up. People say, but the market's different now. Absolutely. Market's always different on the surface. So you hunt for something that's not different. The seasonal patterns that the institutions have been using year after year. I did all the research with TradeWave platform, uncovering patterns like the S&P 500 window that's worked year after year. I put together what I found in my new book, The 100-Year Pattern. It's a no-nonsense guide to seasonality and pattern detection. No magic, just real research and data that you can use. And if you want to go further, you can use TradeWave and find new patterns yourself. If the market ever goes off script, TradeWave will show you that also. If you've ever wondered why some trades feel effortless while others flop, then this book is going to give you the missing context. Grab a copy of the book and see the market's calendar for yourself. One lucky window lit the fuse. Understanding the calendar keeps the fire burning. See you inside.